Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name's Nathan, and welcome back to the Tuesday Checklist. Every Tuesday, the Access team takes inspiration from a recent or upcoming release to start a conversation about some of our favourite games. With LA Noire having brought its meticulous recreation of 1940s LA and 1940s faces back to PlayStation 4, we started and then could not stop thinking about weird details we obsessed over instead of actually playing games. Rob, you're the weirdest, you can start.
So, I often get really obsessed with little details in games that other people usually just, they're just there in the games and people take them for granted, like water graphics, for example. I really like looking at water graphics in games. I really like the sound effects of boots in games on different surfaces as well. But we're not talking about boots. I was going to talk about LA Noire. Because
spats.
I mean, everyone got really obsessed with the detail of the faces. Remember when LA Noire came out and everyone was like, wow, look at that facial animation. It's like real faces. Because it was, really new technology at the time. And I don't think we've seen anything quite like it since. I mean, there's performance capture in games now, and the way they capture the facial animation is incredible. But they did a very specific thing with LA Noire because reading people's faces was like the whole point of the game. But I would, my detective skills were quite ridiculous in that I would just sit there looking at them going for just hours on end.
Guilty.
And I would cycle through. No, wait, you're not guilty. No, I do believe you. Wait, I don't believe you. And then just, seeing how their faces would change. And I spent just pretty much the entire game not really doing my detective work properly because I just wanted to see all the different ways people's faces could move in
So you were just
LA Noire.
fascinated by the technology?
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. And I also I liked imagining all of the actors having to sit down.
Do every...
All right, John, look guilty.
Yeah.
And now look like you're telling the truth.
Serious?
Yeah, that's what telling the truth looks like in LA Noire.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I was probably the worst detective you could ever have. I mean, I would have taken ages to solve the cases because I just used to obsess over these. I thought it was fantastic as well. It was really cleverly done.
If I'm being completely honest about this, my real answer is Gwent. We talked about Gwent recently, so I'm not going to go back into it because I'd just be saying Gwent over and over again, which has stopped me completing The Witcher. But I won't talk about Gwent. I'm already getting sidetracked. Gwent is stopping me from talking about the actual thing I want to talk about, which is a very specific photo mode, which is the photo mode from No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, you might have heard of, is a universe-sized game. So there's quite a lot to do, and I'm quite good at not doing the things I'm supposed to do at the best of times in games, which is why you will see so few gold trophies in my trophy count.
Didn't bother saying that.
Oh yeah, platinum. I'm never going to see a platinum trophy. But the photo mode, and I like photo modes have become amazing. Definitely, with the share button. It used to be you just take screenshots, then photo modes came along, and every time they're getting better and better. No Man's Sky's photo mode was a real problem, especially, I guess, because there's even more reason to document these moments because they are famously, you could be the only person in the world who ever sees this particular planet or area of the universe that you're in. And I think that definitely plays into my mind anytime I went to a new planet, it would always be a different color. Every creature you saw was a completely unique creature. Loads of them look really funny. And I wanted to document that. But also I just love sci-fi. And so my spaceship, I just taking pictures of it doing everything. Landing, taking off, firing its
All
guns.
those things spaceships do.
All the things. Doing a roll, that's a cool trick. Going through an asteroid field, docking, you know, meeting in a dogfight, doing some piracy, just anything I could think of. Trying to get it into a canyon, getting it as low to the floor as possible, you know, like trying to crash it into a dinosaur type creature. Probably the best feature, and it's a slightly more advanced than what you'll see in other photo modes, is that you can move the sun to where you want, which means I have about 30 eclipse shots. Nathan, you're looking at me confused. I will explain. You literally, you're in space, you go into photo mode, you're in the middle of space, you look at where you want the sun to be, you press R3, I think, and then the sun is there. And what this means is, only for photo mode, you know, when you come back out, the sun's back where it actually is. The star, I should say, the star.
Yeah, they will get cross.
Yeah, they will get very cross. And that means that you can choose exactly which direction the light is coming from, which means you can have eclipses, you can have silhouettes, you can, you know, have the sun just sort of a little halo coming around a planet. It's just brilliant fun. So that is why I am, that and also base building, by the way, is the reason I'm nowhere in No Man's Sky. I'm like,
First planet.
not quite first planet, but I've set up a base now and I can't see me going much further because, you know, I've got my camera and that's all I need.
A detail in a game. I actually have quite a few like little things I love. You know how Rob loves water in video games?
Yeah.
I love Starry Night Skies.
Oh,
Okay.
skyboxes.
Absolutely, like have you seen Horizon Frozen Wilds? Oh my god, with the Aurora Borealis doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, I could spend all of my time just looking at the sky. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I love a Starry Night Sky, but it's not that. It was gonna be Tearaway's paper cutting.
That is good. That's
Right,
good.
and that was good, but then I realised I was bad at it, so I didn't really, didn't really make anything worth showing. But my current one, and it's because I'm currently playing Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is the second Life is Strange game, and I've just finished part 2, and it's the ability to listen to music in video games.
Okay.
And it's not just stopping the characters still, it's that games actually have built-in features that literally just stop the game and are all about you listening to music. So in Life is Strange, for example, there are certain times where Chloe might sit down, and the idea is it almost removes you from the game, the camera pans out, and the music picks up. And you can literally just sit there and listen to Daughters, which these guys did a whole album called Songs from Before the Storm. So instead of having lots of collaborations like they did first, one artist has done a whole album, you just sit and just listen, and it's incredible. Abzu was quite similar. They did it with meditation mode.
Oh yeah.
So you could have the music of Abzu would pick up around you.
That was great. You could go and investigate all the fish, all the
was
different
so good.
species.
It was
Yeah.
so good.
This is like when I go to Skellige on my boat in The Witcher 3 and I just sit there and listen to the music of Skellige.
It's true. Nier Automata, you could do it there if you found the jukeboxes. You could sit down and play the music from the game as well.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14, you can buy a jukebox for your house, and if you unlock the scrolls, you can just play the music in your house and just sit there and like. Because when I play games, I like to either be on Discord or I'm on PSN chat, so I don't get a chance to appreciate the music. Or if I'm really lost in a game's world, I know if the music was missing, but I wouldn't necessarily be able to appreciate it. It's just my favourite feature is games that allow me to remove myself from the danger and the game world. Because even in Skellige, you've got to be careful, because like the harpies and all that, and all the drowners will eventually come and get you. Where this, it removes you from any danger and just allows you to appreciate the score of a video game. And I love music in video games.
So, something in a game which I became obsessed with.
If it's The Witcher 3, I'm going to make a sound.
Make the sound.
Oh!
What do you think it is in The Witcher 3 though? I was
don't
worried
know.
when you went for Gwent. Obviously I've never played Gwent because it would
Right.
distract me from chasing down the question marks on the map,
God,
which is
yeah.
my true obsession. Do you know I've still got some?
I know.
I'm
You've done nothing but play The Witcher since it was
I don't know. I'm scared about playing it in 4K because I'm worried about.
4K question marks.
I got rid of them all
in Velen. I've done every single one, but in Skellige, this is my true worry. I guess I should explain that the question marks are there. It's like a point of interest that you haven't discovered yet on the map. Most of them now that I finished literally everything else in the game are just bits of treasure. And so like I have two problems. One of them is that all the ones I have left are in Skellige, and they take flipping ages to get to because I have to sail to them all individually. I get out, there are harpies, there might be drowners, people trying to stop me from getting the treasure. And I reckon I've probably got like 2 or 3 dozen of them left. All of the treasure is completely worthless to me now because I'm like end game. Like the treasure scales, but it doesn't scale to the point it's worth it. And then I get like overburdened if I go and like. And so
I hate that.
I go to the bottom of the sea, I pick up some treasure, and I'm like, so I'm basically going to treasure chests, opening them, picking the stuff out, and then throwing it away, just throwing it into the water, and I can't stop. And every time I play The Witcher now, I turn it on, even if we're just capturing a bit of it. It bugs me and I want to do it. And the big problem is the game remembers where your boats are and it remembers how many boats there are. And if you get a boat stuck or damaged or broken, then they don't respawn, they don't come back. So my real true fear is that one day I will still have 2 dozen question marks left in the Isles of Skellige and I will have to bloody swim between them all. And it would take me absolutely hours. And once I start doing it, it's one of them things where it's like, oh, it's 11 o'clock at night. I could fit in like I'll do a Witcher quest. I'll go and hunt a monster. And then you're like, oh, I don't know. There's like a mental kind of arithmetic. You say, oh, how far away am I from the Witcher quest? But how many? Oh, I could just, if I went this way and it's like 20 miles out of your route, I could pick up 3 different question marks. And as soon as that thinking is applied to the Isles of Skellige with no boats, while I'm overburdened with armour, Dave. I mean, that's going to be a very sad day.
What will happen when all the question marks have been found, Nick? Well, then peace will reign.
I will rest.
Nathan will evaporate.
Yeah, he'll turn into
And
a
he will have
question
eternal
mark.
sleep.
He'll turn into a human question mark. just like, constantly questioning.
It'd be like killing a vampire. It's like, I can finally rest.
Just
And
turns
Nathan
to
just
ash.
turns
Put my
to
dual
ash.
shock down, and there will be a whisper.
You have to make the faces in such a way that a player can read a specific emotion. Whereas, I imagine if you're interrogating a suspect who's murdered someone, they would look like this.
Oh my god! I don't think Rob realises what he's done.
That's just how you look.
They don't have the poker face.
Rob, who have you murdered?
You can't have the poker face, can you?
We've stopped filming, you can tell us.
No further questions, Your Honour. Let us know in the comments what awful things you've done in video games. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more like this every Tuesday. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next week.